Look, this beautiful wedding cake was actually cut in half. Turns out the groom only had half a body. Even his hat was only half a hat. What's going on here? Out in the fields, a green dragon slithered in. It shut off the main water valve and even stole the handle. The king hadn't finished his bath. The shepherd's sheep had no water, and the old farmers lost their supply. Bare-chested and furious, the king ordered 2 soldiers to capture the green dragon, but the dragon was too strong, and the soldiers came back scorched and sooty. The king tried a different tack, offering treasure to trade for the valve handle. Just then, the dragon noticed the princess. Unmoved by gold, it set down the handle, scooped up the princess, and flew away. The king could only bathe with tears in his eyes. Then he issued a royal bounty. Whoever rescued the princess could marry her and take home a fortune. The soldiers were eager until the dragon's portrait was unveiled. One look and they scattered in terror, because the dragon looked downright horrific. Someone muttered it was a suicide mission, and one angry woman even slapped a soldier. That's when a striking young hero stepped forward and took the job. He was a once-in-a-century champion. He braved blizzards, slogged through swamps, and at last reached the dragon's lair. Life wasn't easy for the kidnapped princess. Every day she washed and cooked for the dragon. Even breakfast was plated with little mood faces. The dragon wolfed it down, kissed the princess goodbye, and breathed a ring of fire around the house for protection. Left alone, the princess sat on the bench and cried her eyes out. Suddenly, the hero burst in with his sword, struck a few dashing poses, and stole her heart on the spot. She beamed, hearts practically sparkling in her eyes. But the hero groaned that he was starving. After a journey that felt like 10 long years, tired, sleepy, and hungry, the princess made him the same breakfast. Once he was full, he flopped down and started snoring, as if he'd forgotten this was the dragon's lair. The dragon returned from the hunt to find a stranger in its home. It went red-eyed with rage, grabbed a metal file, and charged with a roar. The hero slept like a rock and didn't budge. Only when a tear from the princess hit his cheek did he finally wake. He sprang up and landed a punch on the dragon, then scooped up the princess and bolted. On the way out, he gave the dragon a parting kick, and the princess landed safely outside. The hero drew his sword and leapt back into the rubble. He swung like a madman and chopped the dragon into 5 pieces. Dragging the great sword, he was spent and collapsed into sleep on the spot. The princess stood by, helplessly watching him. Now that she was free, her mood brightened, and she started roasting dragon meat nearby. She had no idea the smell would lure in something far worse. A new monster appeared, one with only half a body. While the hero slept, it ambushed him and killed him in an instant. Everything happened so fast that the princess was taken again. The monster carried her back to the kingdom, planning to pose as the dragon slayer. It demanded the king marry the princess to him. Left with no choice, the king agreed. It looked like the story was over, but the hero's grave soaked in rain and morning sun. Fresh green shoots sprang up, and with them, the hero came back to life. Just as the princess and the half-bodied monster were about to join hands, the hero kicked the door in. The monster was more shocked than anyone. The hero pulled out its one weakness, a golden apple. He took a step, slipped, and the apple went flying. The monster grinned from ear to ear. At the crucial moment, the princess caught the golden apple and slammed it to the ground. She vented all her fury on the worm inside the apple and crushed it flat. With that, the cunning monster was finished for good. The princess and the hero lived happily ever after.